Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Admiral Kutuzov, and he is in the Yamato, a tier 10 Japanese battleship. He is on the map Northern Lights, and unfortunately it's a standard battle. There is also a carrier, and well, there are two destroyers. Now, standard battle means obviously there are no objectives to fight over, well, except maybe the spawns, so this is probably going to be a rather slow start. There's usually absolutely no reason to be too aggressive, because there isn't any objective that you want to take. But on the bright side, I mean, the Yamato is a decent ship at medium to long ranges. Obviously, there's a lot of RNG involved in long range fighting, but you know. He is basically here in a rather central position and still pretty much close to the spawn, and yet he is among the more aggressive in his team, I guess, when we look at the minimap. But anyway, so there is a Colbert that's starting to spam him, and well, Colberts are pretty nasty, which means obviously he is already on fire, and that means he probably doesn't want to just sit here. He needs to reposition somehow. If a Colbert is allowed to spam you like this, you will have like usually about 2 fires permanently on your ship. And that's gonna burn you down rather quickly. Now he got a salvo off here and even a sneaky citadel, that's pretty good. Now he's trying to get to this island, I believe, and put this island between him and the... Oh crap. Well, hello Holland. So it looks like the enemy destroyer decided to make a mad dash through the center and suicide. Now there is no way this Holland is going to survive this, but he might be able to do a lot of damage to the Yamato. Then again, the Yamato has a pretty good torpedo belt. The Holland's torps don't do that much damage, and the Holland never made it. So some good dispersion there on the shells, but you know, like this Holland was also engaged by the friendly Holland. Like, look at how many friendly ships are around here, right? And every one of them could shoot this Holland. I mean, the chances of this Holland getting close enough to get a good torp salvo off were never that good. And even if he did, there was no guarantee he would sink the Yamato, so this was just pure insanity. And I'm not sure why you do that in a Holland, because it's not like a Holland is that bad in a... But like this, you have reasonably ranged torpedoes. The Holland could have got like here on the left flank or so and try to torpedo the friendlies there. But anyway, it's nice when the enemy does stupid things like that. Now, Admiral Kutuzov has decided what he wants to do now. The Colbert is detected again, and well, if he could get rid of the Colbert, that would be nice. I think most damage he has suffered so far was because of that one ship and fires. So, dear shells, please sink the Colbert. Yeah, not entirely, but friendly carrier is coming in, and I think he missed. And well, he obviously got detected here, and he is burning again. Also took a little bit of AP damage there, I think, but you know. Being on fire is just a battleship's fate these days. It's something that it's not worth getting mad about it anymore. It just comes with... When you play a battleship, you mentally prepare yourself to burn. And you accept it, and then you can have fun in battleships again. In a sense. Anyway. Now, as expected, you know, both sides are basically just sitting in a bag and engaging each other at longer ranges, because it's a standard battle and there is absolutely no advantage of moving out of your base, kinda. Now you still need to keep your flanks somewhat protected, because if the enemy gets around you and creates crossfires, that can be dangerous. And that might be happening in the 9-10 line at some point, but for right now, the enemy team just isn't really doing much there, right? Since the friendly ships have nothing at the 9-10 line, those enemies can't engage anything. Which means they're just sitting there and, well, I don't know. If they manage to push through, maybe they become relevant again. But they don't really have too much support. Like, if 3 ships push through here, they'll probably get focused down and deleted. And the other enemies are probably too far away to put enough pressure for a reasonable crossfire. But anyway, the Colbert is visible again. The rain starts again, obviously. The Yamato is on fire, as one would expect. And Yeah, Colbert still survives, but he's very low now, and there are, I think, some more shells. Well, okay, those weren't even close. I guess the Colbert managed to sneak away again. Now, the friendly carrier... I think he's in the process of launching a new squadron. Oh no, wait, he's over there. So the friendly carrier is trying to defend the 910 line. Probably a reasonable choice. He's also providing some spotting for the ships that are not visible there. Now we have one Shimakaze actually going there, trying to torpedo the incoming ships, and the Montana holding position here to possibly, I guess, stop a push. Meanwhile, just lost a Minotaur there. That's unfortunate. But Admiral Kutuzov got a nice citadel into the Anna. Now, Admiral Kutuzov is moving towards the flank that's looking the weakest. Basically, there is just a Montana around here, while the other side is still rather strong. I'm not sure what the friendly Smolensk is doing. I mean, I'm aware Smolensk is a very long-range ship. If you go for the Captain skill and the range mod, you have 19 point something range, but that seems like a lot farther away than 19 point something. Like, look at how far the closest enemy to the Smolensk is. And then look, I mean, we can see where ships have been destroyed, right, on the minimap. And no ship has been destroyed close here on the left side. So it's not like the Smolensk was just engaging someone and took it out. The Smolensk actually sailed up there for no reason. Meanwhile, Admiral Kutuzov got his second kill, and well, that's always nice. Now, he lacks targets to shoot at currently, so he's gotta decide what he wants to do now. There is a Montana coming through here, so he's probably... he hasn't quite... Oh, no, he has spotted. Okay, so that Montana is a good next target, especially since it's coming in here broadside. It's still a bit limited with how the Montana can maneuver because of those islands. So that salvo should be good. Afterwards, the Montana can possibly... something like angle. Come on, give us those juice. Yeah, it's a citadel. So that's an okay start. Now what's the Montana going to do? There is a gearing coming in here, but the friendly carrier has that potentially covered. Now Admiral Kutuzov is reversing because he wants to get another salvo off. Might still not get it off because of this island, but he basically wanted the island right in front of him to not block his shots. And I mean, if he reverses enough, then he can squeeze in shells here after the Montana is visible again. So yeah, he got a salvo off there for the brief second the Montana was spotted. And it's 4 overpens. Now at this point, I think he just keeps reversing because he wants to use that. That island is a bit inconveniently placed because it will be exactly between him and the Montana. And going forward again takes quite a bit of time, so he's trying to get more shots off with the reverse here. I mean, he could easily just go forward technically against that Montana if he's angled nose in. In a Yamato, he definitely has the advantage. But, well, that worked. Now, overall, the friendly team is like one ship ahead, which isn't that much, but, you know, it's something. And it looks like the friendlies are actually pushing a flank now. Now, the enemies that came from the 910 line have been dealt with. The issue is... this Halland here basically has no support, and the Halland doesn't even have smoke. Now, the enemy might not have any radar here, but exactly, the carrier is coming. If the carrier spots the Halland's dead. Now, the Halland has technically good anti-air, but the carrier should be able to keep him spotted for long enough that the enemy team can do a lot of damage, and the carrier also get a drop in.
Reporting the target position.
Yeah, this is basically kind of what I would have expected there, right? I mean, look at how many enemy ships there are. How would the Halland survive? That's 6 enemies, right? With it, Venezia, which does a lot of damage to destroyers with its sap. I mean, a Goliath, a Yoshino, pretty good damage. And then, I mean, don't forget the battleships. They might not have best accuracy, but at those ranges, battleships will get a few chunks in. And Halland had nothing, like no smoke, nothing. The moment he was detected, he was basically dead. His only option was that the enemy would all be like, I don't know, AFK, not paying attention. Meanwhile, we have a Republic here that's going to get farmed, which is nice. So, what now? Admiral Kutuzov is still playing this rather defensive, but there has never been really a reason to be more aggressive. He had a good position here in the center early on, then he moved a little bit towards the flank where the enemy was actually pushing around and defeated it. Now at this point he could be... I guess he could support this push that's happening. At this point I really would think going forward is a good choice. I mean, he's trying to get some sneaky shells over the island, but that's not gonna happen. Now, if he wants to push forward, he can go through... Well, there are two possible options. The thing is, like, if he goes towards his friendly ships, then he's creating less crossfires. The advantage is he's closer to some allies. If he goes on the other side, he could be a little bit alone if the enemy counter pushes him. Actually, the friendlies are now equal on ships. Now there is still a Montana here. The Hellfleet still too. And let's slightly speed this up while he himself in position. Yeah, okay, he's able to shoot the Goliath here, but I mean it's a very long range. Now we have a Smolensk there that's probably busy burning some things. We have the carrier that's currently providing spotting, and the carrier even has provided a fighter plane for the friendly Shimakaze, which is good because it looks like the enemy carrier is around here. Now the Shima is inside the smoke screen with friendly planes overhead, so it should be safe for now. But once like the plane is gone and the smoke's gone, this Shima has to be aware that he's going to be hunted. Now, right now, actually, a lot of enemies are not spotted because, well, the carrier's planes are transit. With the Shima inside the smoke, the friendlies they were really relying on the vision of the carrier. But the carrier should be back momentarily. Enemy Kremlin is also fully broadside, which is a good thing. Now, of course, the reason the Kremlin is probably broadside is because the Kremlin was angling against the smoke screen, right? If you know there's a Shimakaze in a smoke screen rather close to you, you'd be like, well, I wanna be nosing towards them because that's 15 torpedoes. Unfortunately for him, there was also a Yamato. And well, that brings the friendlies in a one-ship ahead situation. And I mean, the thing is, right, if you're ahead like this, like 5.5 minutes left, then like the enemy has to push, right? The balls in the enemy corner, basically, they have to make a move. You don't have to do much. In a standard battle, and that's unfortunately what makes standard battles often so boring gameplays. You aren't fighting for multiple objectives, you aren't trading them, you aren't capturing them. You basically, it's just your base, and if both teams sit in their base, it's not going to be that exciting in some ways. It just leads to more long-range gameplay. Now, we had some excitement in this game, especially with the Halland push earlier. But those are more like the outliners. Now, it looks like Admiral Kutuzov has decided to not take any risk here and abort his push. I'm not sure, personally I would have moved forward here. But, I mean, I can't fault him for playing this more careful. As I said, the friendlies are ahead, you know. And oftentimes the smart move is not mostly the most fun move, in a way. And look at that Goliath is showing broadside. And down he goes. That's a Kraken Unleashed, and that's even a heal. He doesn't necessarily need it, but... So the friendlies are just solidifying... they are just increasing their lead. Now the enemy team still has a pretty healthy Venezia left in the Yoshino. We don't know exactly where the Yoshino is. The Yoshino might be pushing through here. But you know, I mean, Admiral Kutuzov is in a position where he can easily intercept and then push there for the friendly camp. Not that, like, time-wise it's a little bit too late for a move like that. Like, if the Yoshino wanted to try something like come in here, maybe get some torps off and farm those ships crossfire or something, is way too late. Now also the enemy carrier is here. Look at the friendly carrier has already deployed a fighter plane. The friendly carrier is doing a lot with fighter planes here, which is nice to see, you know. It's almost like the carrier is part of a team and not just in it for himself. Okay, so Yoshino full broadside. And, I mean, Yoshino coming in like this, that means they're going to be torps. It looks like the Yoshino is slowing down here. So Admiral Kutuzov gave slightly too much lead. But, okay. He'll probably get a few more chances here before the Yoshino can disengage. Assuming the Yoshino even tries to disengage. Now, also Admiral Kutuzov is immediately angled here. Because he expects torps. Oh wait, he's not that angled actually, he wanted to use his rear guns. But I think he's still dodging those torps. Now, next up, it looks like the Venezia decided to also come this way. It's also like, the Venezia could have supported, I guess, his Yoshino or so, but he waited until the Yoshino was destroyed and now he is... in on this. At this point, the enemy team will... Yeah, it's basically impossible for them to win. It's like 1 minute 20 remaining. And, you know... I mean, they can reasonably sink Admiral Kutuzov here, but it won't change the outcome. The friendly lead is too big. The friendlies are now even inside the camp, so they are denying the enemy some points gain. And... yeah, it's below a minute now. Admiral Kutuzov here... Well, I mean, his engine is broken right now, but he's just... He doesn't care anymore. He wants to use all of his guns and he just wants to get his 6th kill before this is over. He's even like blind shooting the smoke. Of course, if he blind shoots the smoke, it means he will remain spotted. That means the Venezia will shoot back, and that means he has shell traces to aim at. And that's the Venezia. Now, this battle will last 10 more seconds, and then it's a friendly win, and it looks like the enemy carrier is going to survive. And that brings us to the results. Admiral Kutuzov earning the 3,870 base experience. Very nicely done. And, you know, I usually show you much more brawling replays, I guess, because I personally prefer the brawling playstyle and I play more close quarter battleships most of the time. The Yamato is a ship that doesn't fare so well in brawling, and it was like expertly played in this. There was really no reason to be aggressive. Most of the time he kept in a central position, he reacted to a flank that was weak, and he basically was looking for targets of opportunity and got good shots in. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.